Yes, I greetings, greetings, greetings. It's me again. I'm here with you one more time. All right, I'm here with you one more time. Let's just get everything prepared, get everything ready for you, and that we can roll into it. I hope everybody's doing great. I hope you guys are doing very well, and your families are in good health. All right, I hope so. I'm really excited for you guys because y'all tune in and you all be doing your homework on stuff. You all asking questions, all the pertinent questions. So that's important. Okay. It's good to ask the right questions, and every question is right. So none of these questions you guys are asking is wrong. All right. So greetings, greetings. Welcome to the program. Let's just get some of you in here before we get started. Okay, so we are broadcasting on Facebook and we are broadcasting on YouTube as well. Okay. All right. YouTube and Facebook. So let me go back here and let's do this, man. Let's do that. How about that? Okay. Very good. Greetings all. Greetings, greetings. Where's Facebook? Let me make sure that on Facebook I am not set up for. There we go. All right. Very good. Very excellent. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the program. And I apologize. I think I'm about 3 minutes late, but not really. All right. Things happen. So here I am. Welcome to the program. And we're going to dive right into it, man. Okay. We're going to talk about dairy milk. It, we're going to talk about those things because we have to educate people on the dangers and the non-dangers of everything, right? And we help make recommendations, you know what I mean? And just provide information to you and kind of paint a clear picture for you as to what's going on health wise all over the planet. Okay. So that's what we do as Herbals. We paint that picture for you and we provide you with that information that is so necessary. Okay. And sometimes, it's hard to follow people on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Sometimes it's hard. How do you unscramble the truth from the right? There are a lot of people uh, who give misinformation, right, and so forth. So it's kind of hard. I know it's difficult to kind of pinpoint, what's real, what's the real deal versus the unreal deal, right? All right. So come on in, guys. We're going to talk about dairy products tonight. And I hope everybody's doing great. Okay. Don't forget to share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Indigenous Bushman, at Indigenous Bushman, and it's the same for Instagram. All right. It's the same for Instagram. So tonight we live stream on YouTube and we're live streaming on Facebook as well. All right. Very good. Let's make sure that YouTube is good. Very nice. So, without further ado, I am not a doctor. I am not a medical professional. I am a herbalist. I'm a holistic health educator and a researcher. I do not dispense medical advice. I do not dispense medicine. Okay? I do not dispense medicine. I do not diagnose or treat medical conditions. What I do is provide information and education from the perspective of traditional herbalism. All right. So these statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration or the FDA. So the products I'm going to discuss tonight are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Okay? Just want to get that out of the way. Just want to make sure that's out of the way and we're good to go. Let's see where we at on Facebook. Remember, your health is your responsibility. Okay. Okay. So we're talking about dairy products, guys. We'll talk about dairy products, and then we are going to be looking at some research and some medical doctors. Okay. We're going to talk about the same thing herbalists have been telling you for time immemorial. I mean, it's been a while. We added and we educate you and we tell you about, the dangers of certain foods that are out there, right? The dangers of certain foods that we commonly use, we commonly consume on a daily basis. Okay. So there is what we call the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. The Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, or PCRM. Okay. And they are a nonprofit or 501c3. They're nonprofit medical ethics and public health advocacy organization. And they have more than 17,000 doctor members. Okay. They're the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. They have more than 17,000 doctors, right, as members. And they have with them nearly 1 million members and supporters worldwide. Okay. So let me know if you guys hear me. Just hit me up in here. I want to make sure I'm good to go. Okay. Okay. So, and let me just tell you a little bit about them, right? The physicians committee. They are dedicated rather to saving and improving human and animal lives through plant-based diets and ethical and effective scientific research. And their vision is creating a healthier world in which health and compassion are central values in science and medicine. Okay, and let me bring them up here a little bit, and then so I'm going to share. I'm going to share my screen here with you so I can show you some stuff. Okay, just give me a second here. Let's share the screen. All right. So you should be seeing what I'm seeing right now. Okay. Good. Again, that's from the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. Okay. And they wrote an article about health concerns about dairy and how to avoid the dangers of dairy with a plant-based diet. Okay, so this is on their website, and we're going to go through some information here. Okay, so they're saying that milk and other dairy products are the top source of saturated fat in the American diet, contributing to heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and Alzheimer's disease. We're going to get deep into this. Studies have also linked dairy to an increased risk of breast, ovarian, and prostate cancers. I've been telling you guys this for years. Herbalists have been telling you this for years. Okay? Let's look at saturated fat and heart disease. Milk and other dairy products are the top sources of artery clogging saturated fat in the American diet. Milk products also contain cholesterol. Okay. And they're saying further that diets high in fat, saturated fat, and cholesterol increase the risk of heart disease, increase the risk of heart disease, which remains America's top killer. Top killer in America is heart disease. Okay. And cheese is especially dangerous. Typical cheeses are 70% fat. Okay. And that article, okay, is describing that. Okay. They're talking about lactose intolerance. All right. Talking about lactose intolerance. Let me know you're there, guys. Okay. So infants and children produce enzymes that break down lactose. Okay. So the sugar found in breast milk and cow's milk. But as we grow up, many of us lose this capacity, right? And lactose intolerance is common. And that's affecting about 95% of Asians in America, 74% of Native Americans, we call them Indians, 70% of brown skinned people here in America, 53% of Mexicans who live here, and 15% of Caucasians. All right. Some of the symptoms include diarrhea, gas, and upset stomach. All right. Bone health. When it comes to dairy products, let's look at bone health. Research shows that dairy products have little or no benefit for bone health. And according to an analysis published in the British Medical Journal, all right, most studies fail to show any link between dairy intake and broken bones or fractures. In one study, researchers tracked the diets, exercise, and stress fracture rates of adolescent girls and concluded that dairy products and calcium do not prevent stress fractures rather. There was another study that was done of more than 96,000 people. Another research study that was done with 96,000 people, and they found that more milk men consumed as teenagers, the more bone fractures they experienced as adults. Okay. And here we go. Cancer research has linked the high fat content of hormones in milk, cheese, and other dairy products to breast cancer. Okay. One study of nearly 10,000 women found that those who consume low fat diets have a 23% lower risk of breast cancer recurrence. And they also have a 17% lower risk of dying from the disease. Okay. So, and the list goes on and on and on and on. Here we have a fact sheet regarding health concerns about dairy products. Okay. We have many Americans, a lot, and not just Americans, people everywhere, people all over the world, man, including some vegetarians, still consume substantial amounts of dairy products, and the government policies still promote those products, despite scientific evidence that questions the health benefits and indicates their potential health risks. Though dairy is marketed as an essential food for strong bones, there is more to the story. Okay, and some important things to consider include potential health problems like heart disease, certain cancers, digestive problems, and type 1 diabetes. Okay, and we can see health concerns about dairy products, a physicians committee. Okay, and let's take a look right here. We have certain green vegetables like kale and broccoli are especially beneficial for bones because they contain both calcium and vitamin K. All right. Now, let's take you back to let's take you back here. I'm gonna stop sharing my slide, my screen. Okay. And let's talk a little bit about some of the things, some of the foods that some of the foods and minerals and vitamins, right? That are essential to bone health and the health of our teeth and our red blood cells. Okay. But before we go into this, before we go into that, let me just say this real quick, okay? And I said it 2 weeks ago in my previous lecture, 2 weeks ago. I, for the sake of me, I don't know why grown humans are still drinking animal milk. I do not get it. I don't understand why you do not need animal milk. Okay. When a when a calf or a baby cow, she's a cow, I don't know why they call it a calf, but that's the term for it. So we could move on. When a calf is born, the calf drinks milk. Okay. Any animal that produces milk, right? Like a pig, right? Cows, goat, sheep, right? And others. They produce milk for their babies. And when the baby gets to be a certain age, baby stops drinking the mother's milk because the milk is only to take them to a certain level, a certain maturity. It is not a forever thing. It's not a forever drink. So once the animal gets to a certain age, a certain maturity, the animal no longer drinks its mother's milk. The animal gets its calcium and its vitamin K and its manganese for bone health from the food that they eat. When a human woman, female human, makes a baby, if they breastfeed the baby, because some don't, a lot don't, right? After a certain age, after a certain maturity, after a certain time has passed, the baby no longer needs that milk from the breast, from the mother's breast. Don't. The baby's going to get its calcium, manganese, and vitamin K from the foods that they eat. But no, as soon as the baby gets off the mother's breast, or for the people who don't actually give their babies milk from the breast, from mother's breast, they feed the baby with a bottle, and for the remainder of the youth life, the remainder of the life of that child, they give them milk. They pump them with milk. They pump them with dairy milk, dairy products, and cheese, and yogurt, right? And dairy butter. Okay. So I don't get it, guys. I mean, this is just common sense. It should be a natural thing to think about. The baby animal does not drink the milk anymore. It stopped drinking the milk. It doesn't drink milk again. Why are we humans so bent on drinking animals' milk that causes so many problems for us, so many health problems for us? Okay. Who we got on board here? So far, I could see Esther, Bonsoir, James, Bob. Good evening, sir. Tanis, Rena. And Rena makes a very, very important point here. She said, not your mom, not your milk. The cow is not your mom. The milk doesn't belong to you. So our calcium, our manganese, and our vitamin K, these minerals and vitamins should be taken from food. They should be coming from the foods that we eat. They should be coming from plants. Because once a baby cow or calf is weaned off of the mother's breast, it starts eating grass. Okay? I'm not telling you to eat grass. We don't eat grass. Our stomachs aren't made for that. We have to eat different things like fruits, vegetables, right? We can't eat grass. Okay? We just not built for that. Our intestines are almost 30 feet long between the long and the short one. Okay, so we can't eat grass. Our teeth aren't made to chew on grass like that. Okay, but they get the minerals and vitamins that are essential to bone health from the grass. Ours should come from the fruits and the vegetables and the nuts. You understand? Okay. Manganese is good for, is really great for helping the body to form connective tissue, bones, blood clotting factors, and sex hormones. Okay. Manganese, great for the bones. It also plays a role in fat and carbohydrate metabolism. Okay. It plays a role in how your body absorbs calcium, and it plays a role in your blood sugar regulation. Manganese, write that down. Remember that word, manganese. Manganese. Okay. So if you were deficient in manganese, some things that potentially could be happening to you would be low fertility, slow or impaired growth, abnormal metabolism of carbs and fat. Okay, important. Also, if you're deficient in manganese, there could be impaired glucose tolerance, which is a state between normal glucose maintenance, and diabetes. Okay, so impaired glucose tolerance generally means that your blood glucose is raised beyond normal levels, but not high enough to warrant a diabetes diagnosis. Okay, and with impaired glucose tolerance, you face rather, you are faced with a much greater risk of developing diabetes and cardiovascular disease. Okay, but on the flip side of that, while manganese is safe in adequate amounts, if you are if you are iron deficient or anemic, if you have liver or kidney disease, you should be cautious. Okay, very cautious. Manganese, great for bone health. You don't have to drink the animal milk. I will keep telling you, you do not need it. You never needed it. It was not meant for you to drink animal milk. Okay? Stinger nettle, what we call in Dominica, zuti, right? Zuti. Stinger nettle, chamomile, chamomile, corn silk, corn silk. There's a herb called horsetail, loaded with manganese. It's also so rich in calcium. Horsetail, basilic, and basil, dill, and thyme. And then you have foods like okra and kale and spinach and bok choy and turnips and mustard greens. All the manganese you need. Then you got hazelnuts, you got pecans, you got oatmeal, kidney beans, chickpeas, lentils, pineapple. And on the herbal side of things, you got turmeric, and you got cardamom, and you got cinnamon. And if you are manganese deficient, you will have weak bones, and there will be poor growth in children. Weak bones and poor growth in children if they don't get enough manganese. You do not get manganese from animals' milk. There could be skin rash and loss of hair color in men. Your mood could also change. Vitamin K is a group of vitamins that the body needs for blood clotting. Your body needs vitamin K for blood clotting. It helps your wounds to heal. And if you are deficient in vitamin K, the main symptom is hemorrhaging. There's hemorrhage in the skin, causing bruises, hemorrhaging from the nose, hemorrhaging from a wound, hemorrhaging in the stomach or in the intestine. Okay, because vitamin K is a clotting factor, it will help clot that blood to prevent you from bleeding to death. Okay, and sometimes bleeding from the stomach causes vomiting with blood. You vomit, there is blood in it. All right. Which means that there is going to be blood, or there is a high possibility of probability that blood may be present in the urine or in your stool, or your stool may be black, right? Black in color. So vitamin K is clotting your blood. It will help to clot your blood, which means it reduces the effects of blood thinning medication, especially warfarin, and it renders the medication ineffective because warfarin is a blood thinning medication and vitamin K goes against that. Vitamin K will help the blood to clot. Okay. And again, if it's not balanced, if you have too much vitamin K, it could be harmful if you are receiving dialysis treatments due to kidney disease. Okay. So just kind of remember that vitamin K helps blood to clot properly. All right. Just remember that. Foods that are awesome, just everyday foods, guys, that we should be consuming anyway, that are rich in vitamin K: parsley, basilic, sage, cilantro, oregano. Those are the green vegetables: mustard greens, Swiss chard, spinach, fruits like blueberries and fig. Fig the fruit, not fig the banana. Round, kind of. It's not round, but shape kind of shaped like a diamond when it's green. Big, huge diamond. Collard greens, Brussels sprouts, turnip, broccoli, and we have fruits like kiwi and prunes and grapes and avocado and cantaloupe and blackberries and mango and strawberries. We should be eating those things every day. You should have servings upon servings of fruits and vegetables to keep your body in tune. Your body needs to be in tune. It needs to be a well-oiled machine. It has to be in tune. Otherwise, you are going to have a lot of health issues. Okay. We're going to talk about calcium, but before I get into calcium, I want to share I want to share this screen with you guys so we can take a look at some more data. Okay, we're going to take a look at some more data. So let's get that screen up here real quick, and let's share it. Okay, and we're still talking about the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. This is their website. News release, May 2nd, 2023. All right. And the headline reads: Student sues school district for free speech violation for silencing her criticism of cow's milk. All right. On heels of lawsuit, federal legislation is being introduced to remove barriers to access non-dairy milks at school. And that's what that was in Los Angeles, in California. Let's look at it. In a first lawsuit of its kind, a Los Angeles high school student is suing her school district and the United States Department of Agriculture for violating her First Amendment rights to share information at school about alternatives to cow's milk and health concerns about dairy, about dairy consumption. Today, okay, today, which was May 2nd, 2023, the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, a nonprofit medical ethics and public health advocacy organization with more than 70,000 doctor members, filed a free speech lawsuit on Marielle Williamson's behalf, with the U.S. Federal Court for the Central District of California in Los Angeles. Williamson, a senior at Eagle Rock High School, was told by her school that she could not share information about plant-based milk or critical of the dairy industry in the school cafeteria unless she provided pro-dairy concerns as well. Okay, right here, right here. So they try to silence the young lady. They try to keep her quiet because she's speaking the truth, and she has the right, as everyone else, to voice her concerns about what she consumes when she goes to school. Our school, here she goes again, and I quote this paragraph right here, and I quote: "Our school is riddled with pro-dairy posters and promotions," Williamson said. Fact that a different perspective from a student was shut down goes to show that the USDA is more focused on milk sales than the well-being of students. This lawsuit was the only way to make people aware of how wrong this is. End of quote. Next paragraph. In its lawsuit, the Physicians Committee alleged that the school district unconstitutionally discriminated on the basis of viewpoint by prohibiting Williamson from distributing information highlighting dairy's negative impact, while schools sanction dairy promotions such as milk ads in the morning announcements pervade Williamson School. The government may not prohibit students speech simply based on his viewpoint. Next paragraph. By law, fluid milk, cow's milk, must be offered at every school by law, not by right, by law. It's two different things. Fluid milk or cow's milk must be offered at every school lunch and breakfast served under the National School Lunch Program and the School Breakfast Program. See, they're trying to shut her down, man. Let's take one more paragraph here. Williamson is also concerned about her many classmates who can't drink cow's milk. Many people cannot digest lactose, including approximately 95% of Asian Americans, 60% to 80% of brown skinned people here, 80% to 100% of American Indians, and 50 to 80% of Hispanics. All right? Can't drink cow's milk. Okay? It goes on to say about 75% of Los Angeles Unified School District student population is Hispanic. About 75%. Not providing appropriate beverages for the students sends the message that the school food programs are not meant for them. Okay, and I'm going to take this quote and then we're going to talk about calcium. And I quote: students don't need to consume dairy milk since there are so many other foods and beverages that can provide the calcium, the protein, the vitamins, and the minerals that are needed for growth and energy, says Los Angeles cardiologist Heather Schenkman, medical doctor. And she's a member of the Physicians Committee. All right. Goes on to say that the lawsuit argues that a federal law mandating that school that participates, that any school that participates in the lunch program or in the school lunch program shall not directly or indirectly restrict the sales or marketing of fluid milk products by the school or by a person approved by the school at any time or any place. End of quote. unconstitutionally restricts the free speech of students. And the USDA interprets that language to mean that the cafeteria displays printed material and layout may not promote beverages other than dairy milk in a way that may distract dairy milk sales. Even water may not be offered on the lunch line in a way that might interfere with student taking milk. And I quote, the dairy industry has a strong hold on our students and our school meal programs, said Deborah Press, Associate General Counsel at the Physicians Committee. You guys see what's going on? You guys understand all this? Okay. They don't care about us. They don't care about our health. They care about their pockets. They care about what they can make, how much they can make. They don't care. Liu, I am going to ask you again to delete your phone numbers off of my live, bro. I will block you. I'm going to block you right now. Okay, so don't forget to send me stars, guys. They help me with my research and my education and my studies and to bring you this information. Okay. And don't forget, you can also follow me on YouTube at Indigenous Bushman and also on Instagram at Indigenous Bushman. All right. Same across all uh, social media platforms, those three: Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Okay. Now, don't forget, if you are interested, before I forget, if you are interested in learning herbalism the way I was taught by my mom and the way that I learned with my instructors, okay? One of my instructors studied in Germany, in Russia, and here in the United States. If you are that person who wants to learn, just let me know. My first class starts October 18th. That's a Wednesday at 7 p.m. Just let me know your interest, and I'll send you the information on how to sign up for the class. All right. We have some students already signed up and ready to go. If we could get some more in, that would be great. You guys can learn this for yourselves and for your families if that's what you want to do, or if you want to share with your community. All right. Now, calcium. Let's talk about calcium. It's a mineral your body needs to build and maintain strong bones and to carry out many important functions. It is Calcium is the most abundant mineral in your body. It is the most abundant mineral in your body. Okay. Almost all of it, almost all bones or all calcium is stored in your bones and your teeth, giving them structure and giving them hardness. All right. So we got nerve cells, we got body tissue, we got blood, and other body fluids contain the rest of the calcium. So, who should avoid calcium supplements? Who should avoid calcium supplements if you have hypercalcemia. Hypercalcemia. And that is a health condition that causes excess calcium, but it's hyper, okay? Hypercalcemia. It causes excess calcium in your bloodstream, okay? And pay good attention to what I'm going to tell you next. Hypocalcemia is a condition, a health condition that causes excess calcium in your bloodstream. Without adequate vitamin D, without adequate vitamin D, free from the sun, I keep telling you guys, go out in the sun, get your vitamin D. Without adequate vitamin D to absorb it, the extra calcium, what does it do? It settles in your arteries instead of the bones. It settles in your arteries instead of the bones. No, once it's settled in the arteries instead of the bones, what does it do? It helps create plaque. That plaque threatens the heart and the brain. And that, my friends, lead to high cholesterol because now the arteries are loaded with plaque. And when the heart pumps that blood, push it out to the body, the heart is going to be working harder because the arteries aren't dilating as they should because they are loaded with plaque. And what the plaque does, it makes the it makes the arteries, right? That space for the blood to go through in the arteries much tighter, right? You have a tighter space for that blood to gush through. So the heart is working harder, and therefore you could potentially end up with high blood pressure. Okay, could potentially end up with high blood pressure. So we must know that excess calcium also can cause muscle pain. Excess calcium can also cause mood disorders, abdominal pain, and kidney stones. So when you're all out there drinking all this cow's milk and this goat milk and having fun with your goat cheese and your ice cream, mhm, and then you end up with kidney stones, and you know, for those of you who've ever passed a kidney stone, it is not easy. Okay, I've never passed a kidney stone in my life. I don't intend on passing one. Gonna make sure those pipes are running well. Make sure I don't drink that milk to cause calcification. Kidney stones ain't no joke. A former coworker of mine many years ago, probably about 15, 16 years ago, probably, probably that. Okay. He used to come to work all bulked up, big biceps and chest big up, and he was walking like this. Yeah, and all it did, all it did was drink. He used to get the powdered, that powdered thing to drink before they go to the gym and stuff to bulk up. And one day, dude was in the office and he was so uncomfortable. Okay, you could hear him groaning on the other side. He started passing a kidney stone or kidney stones, plural, right? Because he was drinking so much of that powdery stuff that is people who go to the gym drink all the time. Every day you would have a shaker shaking that up, whey powder and soybean powder, bulk up, and he was passing a kidney stone, and you could hear him groaning. He had to end up in the hospital, but it took about a week or so to pass the stone. But here's the thing, though: after he passed the stone and he got back to work, his chest was gone and his biceps were no longer there. You see, because all that whey protein he was taking was just accumulating in his muscles and his joints, and his muscles weren't real. So the time that he spent passing the kidney stones, he was not taking that calcium, that fake artificial calcium, and he just deflated. And guess what? He just couldn't help himself. He went right back into it as soon as he got better. He went right back into drinking that stuff and walking around again. Like, dude, come on. You're not learning your lesson. You didn't learn from the first go around. Okay. But as much as too much calcium can cause issues for you, if you're deficient in calcium, it could bring the onset of depression. You could also hallucinate if you don't get enough calcium. Then you could end up with weak and brittle nails, fingernails, and toenails. Okay. You could also experience muscle spasm, easy fracture of your bones, confusion, memory loss. Okay. So we got to be careful of the stuff that we eat. We got to be careful of the information that we digest. We digest information too. Okay. So we really have to be careful, guys, because it's serious. It's our health, and we have to get enough vitamin D so we could absorb that calcium to prevent that excess calcium from resting in the bone in the arteries instead of the bones. It needs to get to the bones. So we are there drinking a bunch of cow's milk thinking, hey, we're doing ourselves a favor. No, we're not. We are not. Okay. And and instead of drinking all these whey powders that these bulky dudes drink, and some females into it too, you should be consuming magnesium. Magnesium. It regulates nerve function, and it helps build those muscles. We have the risk of kidney failure and kidney stones. You know what I mean? Okay. So don't forget to send me stars, guys. There's a link on there that you can click. It'll take you to another page where you could send me stars, and that helps me with my work, my education, my studies, my research. You know, and I would appreciate that a lot. So This is it for tonight. Again, if you want to start learning herbalism the way I learn it, the way I know it, the way I apply it, okay, using these herbs, using these different herbs, just let me know. Put it in the link. Put it in there. Say me or I want to or whatever way you feel like you want to respond, and I will let you know how to get started. Okay, first class is October 18th at 7 p.m. and it's going to be on Zoom platform. All right, and we'll get started and we'll get you going. I started uh, as an herbalist just for my family, keeping my family healthy. You know what I mean? Keeping my family healthy. Then it just morphed into this because I realized then that there were a lot of people who needed help and they didn't know how to find the help because there are so many fake herbalists out there, a whole lot of them, a bunch, a whole lot, more than we need, and they're spreading false information. They're spreading false information. They're just trying to make a quick buck instead of educating people about the herbs, helping people to understand how those herbs work, right? All right, guys. So this is it. I will see you guys again sometime. Um, I don't know when, but probably sometime during the week. And I may not be able to do a live on Monday, probably, but because I stayed out and I just go live. Okay. So don't forget, your health is your responsibility. All right. I'm just here to help you through that process. I'm just here to walk you through it. Hold your hand until we cut that cord, that umbilical cord gets cut. Okay? But I can help you get there. But it's up to you to do the rest. All right. So take care, guys. I will see you next time. Your health is your responsibility. Don't forget. That's right, Eloise. That's right. That's right. We are the captains of our own ship, man. Seriously. And we definitely rely too much on these people to tell us what we need to do. You know what I mean? So blessings every time. All right. See you next time. Hopefully you can join me next time when I go live. All right. Take care. And thanks for showing up. Appreciate you.